Good afternoon, YouTube folks and audience. Today is Wednesday, August 28th in the afternoon. Anyhow, this video is on social media in the internet. It's quite an interesting thing that I've been through, but always very excited to basically go over the facts. And as I say that seriously because there are social media things out there that are not factual. One I have in my hand that I'm going to go over. But anyhow, there was a selectmen's meeting July 15, just a month ago, that I filmed. And the vice chair had allowed me to submit an agenda item to discuss some Warren Police Department complaints which is now the acting chief, Jerry Millette. It turns out I did submit an agenda request to the Warren Selectman's office. Nothing has come about of that agenda request, and I think part of the reason is because there is the pending court case. But anyhow, I'm not worried about it. Actually, I'm here to have some fun today, which is what I'm doing in this video. So, so the issue that is at hand is, so what I was going to say, so from the July 15 Board of Selectmen's video, I had mentioned that I was not, I made a public announcement that I was not running for selectman. And in regards to my campaign sign that said Baril for selectman, those are the signs from 2015. That was basically a plan to was to see who would tamper with the sign, and at the other side of the coin, it was also to see what the social media response was. So it was kind of like a test, and the test proved in my favor, proving that there are people within the town that have corruption problems. Not that I've been saying that for the past 10 years or 12 years, but anyhow, it just proves it beyond a doubt. And so that was a situation that was planned half a year in advance, actually. So, but it worked out really well. So the reason why I'm mentioning that is because of what's behind me right here. So Jacob Pensinger, who was Lisa Pensinger's son. She was a former Warren police dispatcher when dispatch was down the police station. But she basically was an employee of the town. There were some issues with her son from before. But anyhow, the sign was tampered with, and he had done some social media posts on Facebook about the sign blowing away and all these other things. And then people had chimed in on that Facebook page saying how there's a video, and I'll explain that right now if you want. That video, because there were a few YouTube comments, and so I'll explain that. So what happened is that video that you've seen that says tampering with the sign, that was filmed unannounced that the sign was even tampered with. So in other words, every day or every couple days, signs at two separate locations were being filmed, and some by live cameras, some by stationary cameras, some by GoPro cameras. There were a couple that were live, there were some that were not live, some was just filmed, and then video footage was looked over. But anyhow, so as I'm driving to that location, I see the sign missing. And that's how in the video I say, oh my God, the sign's missing, and then realizing it's right around the corner. It wasn't until a member of the Warren Police Department had actually sent me a message saying that there was some Facebook activity, and he had actually given me the name of who tampered with the sign, and then it was me that went to the social media outlet on Facebook and found the conversation of the sign being missing, and then found out that another Warren employee had taken a picture of the sign. But anyhow, so the comment to me on Facebook comment was, this video doesn't show the person stealing the sign? The answer to that question is because there are separate videos of the person kicking the sign and throwing it into the road before that video. So my video is me showing up saying, oh my God, the sign's missing, and then doing that. So of course I'm not going to put the other video of the footage of the people actually tampering with the sign or taking pictures of the sign, because they do include somebody that is a town employee and somebody that is the dispatcher's, former dispatcher's son. But anyhow, so that's separate video footage, and that is only being used in court. So that explains, that answers that. So anyhow, so the reason why I have this behind me, because I find this exactly pretty funny. So it has been made known to me by many sources that the certain people are in damage control. And obviously, you've probably seen my video before this that explains that the chief of police resigned and not retired. And part of that resignation was because the Board of Selectmen were planning on firing him over the Social Security number breach and some other complaints that were filed by me of things. And additional things connected to other things and other people, and additional Warren residents that were working on a class action complaint to sue the selectmen and past and current employees. So anyhow, so this came about, which I found suspicious in itself, which is why I'm doing this video, because I call it how dumb could you be type of thing. So this here is being submitted as court evidence because there's pending criminal case against me, which they think is funny, but anyhow. But the chief initiated that, but that was before he resigned. But anyhow, that's a separate video for the whole thing in itself. So anyhow, we have the second, so I guess I haven't identified this yet. So the first police officer connected to the charges on me is Bruce Bukowski. He wrote the initial first police report, and then there's a supplemental narrative written by police officer Sean Morin. And then the second matter, the second docket number is connected specifically only by Sean Morin. And anyhow, so that has relevance to this, because this is a Warren Patrolmen's Association Facebook page screenshot that I did. This is August 23rd, 2019, which is just a couple days ago, at 11:33 in the morning. So here is Officer Sean Morin identified in the picture right here. And then we have another officer here, which says it's Officer Frank Jolin. I've personally never met the guy. It's the first time I've actually seen him I've probably seen his name on the town's page as an employee, but I've never known the face, never seen him, never interacted with him in my life. So I want to make that clear that I have nothing to say, negative or positive, about Officer Frank Jolin. That's the first time I've seen his face and seen the name down here. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know which officer he is. But anyhow, yes, I know who Sean Morin is, obviously. So anyhow, in this is a picture of two kids at a lemonade stand. Sean Morin is in this picture down here. Officer Jolin's over here. Then we have some kids here. But what I found the most interesting about this post is always supporting a local business. Well, that's funny. I run multiple Warren businesses, and nobody from the town ever supports me financially, or even saying thank you for running a business in Warren. Nobody ever says a word to that. But anyhow, while on patrol, yeah, okay, sure, I believe that. And then the delicious cool beverage at the drink stand, owned and operated, in quotes, by Jacob Parker and Jonathan Pensinger. Oh, that's funny. Jonathan Pensinger is the son of Jacob Pensinger. So in other words, so I found that how Sean Morin, I'm sure, was just not driving down the street and says, oh, there's a lemonade stand, let me get a picture. I'm sure with Jacob Pensinger, who's on the same Facebook page as this one, James Gagner's Town of Warren page, and oh, Sean Morin's on that too. And right, this is a publicity stunt on behalf of the Warren Patrolmen's Association to make it look like, oh, look, the police are doing great things. Well, I guess I can share, some of the police aren't doing good things at all. And that's connected to a lot of felony charges that are coming forward at some point shortly, and the evidence that that the town has now presented me through public records request, and a lot of it points to the chief. And the other side of the coin, it also points to some bad police officers making bad employment decisions, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. So anyhow, so this made me laugh, so I can't wait to submit this in court. I'm going for, so tomorrow morning is the arraignment, and then I guess the next step after that is what's called a pretrial conference. So it'll be exciting at some point to submit the town's records or this public Facebook page showing Officer Sean Moran in the connection to the Pensinger family, and in addition to also having the Facebook printouts showing that James Gagner, who was in a video before, was renewing the chief's contract. So in other words, it shows additional criminal collusion and basically it proves, all the stuff. But anyhow, so that made me laugh. So the other thing that I have right here in my hand is a Facebook post number 2 on James Gagner's Town of Warren page from July 30th, just a little bit ago. So I'll just let you show this here. So it shows a picture of Brian Corvo when he had been arrested, showing him handcuffed. Now, I'm not going to go into detail because Brian has a pending criminal case. But what's funny though is this picture. So booking pictures are supposed to be taken supposedly or accordance to policy and procedure, which is a town-owned camera, which means that you use a town camera, then you plug it into the computer to upload the booking photo. This was taken by the arrestee's personal cell phone, which is in violation of the town policies and procedure. Also in violation of the Mass Coalition of Police, Massachusetts, whatever it is, Training Academy policies and procedures, using personal cell phones for official business, because doing that, then you can get access to their information. But anyhow, so I find it was funny how it said resulting from a recent. Now, the Warren Patrolmen's. Now, this is what I know for a fact because I've already been sent the evidence. The Warren Patrolmen's page, it used to be controlled by former police officer Jeffrey Von Dauber. It's now controlled by. Sorry, I'm losing train of thought. Joseph LaFleur, your canine officer. So yes, so that has been sent to me by some records that we got from Facebook show that Joseph LaFleur, who is a police officer but is also the union president at the time. So he's in control of this page, and he's the one that, according to the Facebook records, posted this. I'm not going to say if it's from his personal cell phone or from a town computer, but either way, it's makes the town liable for what I'm about to discuss. And Mike Baril of Oxford was charged with harassment and intimidation of a witness. Okay, that's an exciting thing. But anyhow, so there's that. So the first thing, of course, at some point, I don't know if it's right after that, is right here on this. So it says, so it's James Gagner himself, his own posting. It says, Baril's lawyer had the arraignment date moved to August 29th. That is correct because it's tomorrow morning. I will see what I can find out about Corvo. And then he makes a comment which made me even laugh even more. So fortunate that the town has to put up with this stuff. I'll explain that in a minute. So I'm not going to go over the other individuals that posted on this, except I'm going to maybe read. Oh, okay, I'm going to read this. This comment here, which I highlighted in green. James Gagner. Okay. Matthew M. I won't read who. Oh, that is his username, Matthew M. Considering how friendly some of our selectmen are, with this non-resident troublemaker / conspiracy theorist. Well, that's funny. Excuse me. And and he says this was taken at the last town meeting. So it turns out, so what it is Gagner apparently used his cell phone and took a cell phone video of, I was filming the May annual town meeting, and it turns out that apparently he took it because he just said he took it, and so he posted a video that's John Nason there. But anyhow, okay, then you have people like Eddie Krakowitz here. Then post James Gagner and people think Nardi is acting the best interest of Warren, ? These selectmen are a joke. So I won't answer that yet, but anyhow, so here's what I did. So I watched the video and I saved it, and I have the metadata from the video file. But anyhow, so I was able to screenshot it with me. That's the criminal summons that I was served at the May annual town meeting, that actually I was served next to my video camera. So it turns out my video camera actually captured the interaction of being served it in the conversation back and forth with Officer Romani that had served it to me. So he had no idea. So he's on video basically saying, I magically found this on the table at the police station. He also then says, I have no idea who wrote the report. I have no idea what the charge is. I have no idea, but here's a piece of paper. So he can't answer even any questions about it. And then the other exciting tidbit is that I had a conversation at the town meeting with Acting Chief Millett, or Sergeant Millett, but anyhow, it turns out that I asked him about the report, and he claimed that he had no idea of it either, of why I was charged or anything about it. But at the same time, I said to him, I says, well, I already know the charges are false because, one, no crime had been committed. And then I asked him, with Romani sitting next to him on the bleachers, would you arrest your own police officer if they committed a felony by falsifying a police report or police records? And he said to my face, yes. So he's going to be held accountable on that to basically investigate his own coworker and whatever needs to be done. But I think it needs to be done not from within the police department. It needs to be done on my end. That we need to make these people accountable for their crimes, seeing as how they think it magically reverts the other way. But anyhow, so yeah, so this is me discussing it with Dario Nardi, who's the chairman at the time, I believe, or maybe he wasn't then. But anyhow, yeah, so he agrees that that piece of paper was baloney, and that is actually from May. This video is from May, and then that is what prompted the selectmen to allegedly fire the chief of police, was because this, which I don't mind Gagner exposing this, because it basically exposes that it just gives me additional evidence to prove that the chief, that the police department falsified police records to try and set me up, which is the case. Anyhow, and then let's see. All right, and the only fun thing I laugh is this next one, because I swear, the more I discuss this in public and with and as evidence, it just makes anyone want to laugh. But anyhow, you probably can't read what that says down the bottom, but I'll read it to you. So this picture, this post is from Susan Angie Bean Libby, which is Sue Libby, who's the vice chair of the Warren Planning Board, who always sits next to Bill Ramsey, who's the chairman. And then she posted Will these two go to jail, question mark. So I find that hilarious because one, Gagner is posting information about my lawyer. Second, we have Sue Libby saying, will we go to jail? I can't speak for Brian Corville. This video is unrelated to him, so it's just specific for me. So the answer is no. I'm not going to jail. I'm very sorry to share that in public. But I can't wait for the court to see this and show that she's already trying to spread rumors that I'm going to jail, even before even before I've been arraigned in court, which won't be happening till tomorrow morning. So anyhow, so that's it for that. So pretty much going to conclude this video, but I have 3 more exciting things to show. I'll make this quick. So I know it's been a little while since there's been some videos here. Obviously, I'm doing fine. I'm not nervous at all. We'll just see what happens. But anyhow, so the funny note is this is not over. And the next thing, which I still haven't done a video on, but I think I'm going to probably maybe tomorrow, the day after, is this envelope. So this is the envelope from Rutland Regional Emergency Communications Center to me, to the P.O. Box in Warren, about the records. So why there's going to be a video on this is because that is actually what stemmed the criminal charges to me, was because not only did Warren police lie in the police records in the town's own assets and resources, but employees from the Rutland Regional Dispatch Center covered up some stuff for Bruce, and that is officially coming out. So we not only have audio recordings, we have all the records, and there are discrepancies in the records that were data entered by Rutland Regional Dispatch, and then there's discrepancies actually in the Warren Police server records. And then it's so this evidence will be presented to the court that Rutland employees engaged in criminal collusion with Bruce. And I just did a video, as you know, that Bruce is now gone, not here anymore. So I don't know anything about Rutland employees, whether they've resigned or whatever, but basically, yeah. So again, we're using, between my lawyers or whatever, we're using evidence to prosecute the Warren police officers for, or former police officers, meaning Bruce, because obviously those records show that they were not true and correct, that they were falsified, and this is all retaliation over the Social Security number breach. Anyhow, so the second thing I'm going to show you is which this all makes me laugh regarding social media. That's why this one's about little blurb on social media. So this is what's called a court transcript. So this is the court transcript, and I also have the audio recording. So what it is you go to the court, and then you purchase the audio CD, and then you also have a transcript done, which is a certified copy. So this transcript here is James A. Gagner Jr., plaintiff, versus Michael J. Baril, me, defendant. This is the, I'm trying to remember what this is. I have so many of these. This is East Brookfield Court on November 19, 2015. Oh, this is the harassment prevention order. So I'll just answer your questions about that. So well, the selectmen are aware of it, but some of the residents, or probably maybe 90% of the viewers, or Warren residents, citizens, taxpayers, etc., are not aware of, is Bruce and James Gagner got together and thought it would be funny to file a harassment prevention order on me personally. But they ran into a problem, is the documentation could not be worded as Warren Selectman versus Michael Baril. It has to be two individuals. So James Gagner has his personal name on the harassment prevention order, but all the testimony that came out was Warren's Town of Warren related and Warren Selectman related. So when Mr. Gagner spoke, he didn't say, I fear for my life, or I this, or I that. It was all about the town, the selectmen hate Baril, we do this, we do that. So what will be coming out is this will, I'm eventually going to release, I don't know, we'll see what I'm going to release. Either I'm going to release the transcript or I'm going to release the whole audio recording. We'll see. I don't know. There's still a pending litigation issue with this, so against the town and Gagner. So we'll see where this goes and what direction. But anyhow, so to make this quick, is I hired a lawyer. Cost me a lot of money. I won't go into an exact amount. But anyhow, this was all fabricated. So the good part for coming up in the future is in September, which was only 2 months prior to November 19, 2015, James Gagner headbutted me at the Warren Senior Center and headbutted me in the face. And after he headbutted me, when he was screaming at me about who owns that former warren-ma.info website, he was so close, when he was yelling, there was spit coming on my face. But anyhow, how that all has connection is, in this transcript and in the audio recording, he misused town funds, possibly, allegedly. I don't really know, but he came pro se by himself, did not come with a town lawyer. But the testimony was all on behalf of the town, so he was speaking on behalf of the Board of Selectmen. So the problem with this is there was an admission in under oath that he assaulted me. So the Warren Selectmen know that he assaulted me. The answer is that they will not lift a finger to do anything of the assault. And the problem with the assault is, I don't mean to get into the story, but this all goes back to former Sergeant Joseph LaFlower, because he was the one that told me on the videos that you've seen on my YouTube channel that he had nothing to do with this. I can't have anything to do with this because I was James Gagner's campaign manager in 2015 when he was running for selectman, and I was running for selectman in 2015. So it turns out, and then he was the one that stupidly submitted the police report, because I never had the police report from then. He's the one that submitted the police report after 2 months prior of assaulting me and headbutting me in the face. And Sergeant LaFlower, in my own audio recordings of videoing him, said, I will not be handling the investigation, it's an ethical issue. And it turns out Gagner turned in the police report that showed that Sergeant LaFlower had dismissed the charges and said, oh no, there was no assault and battery. Well, that's wrong, because November 2015, Gagner testified under oath that he ran up to me, which was true. I don't have the exact page marked, but anyhow, says that he ran up to me and that we made contact and that he did whack me in the face, and he said that under oath. Also, in addition, I found the court documents of the harassment prevention order on the docket file. It said Town of Warren Selectman versus Mike Baril. So there's still no explanation from any of the selectmen or any town official that Gagner had falsified this against me, and also that he could have used town assets and resources he was trying to get me to stop filming, is exactly the situation. So he was claiming that when I was filming him that he felt nervous, I was staring at him, and all these similar things to how the current case against me is worded, using the exact same language as this document here. But this document, as I just said, and to make it clear, proves that Gagner admitted to the assault, and he also, unfortunately, perjured himself, because when the judge asked him questions in the beginning, and then my lawyer cross-examined him at the time, he also admitted that he lied under oath, and the case was actually dismissed against me. Basically, the lawyer discussed this was all politics and retaliation. So, and yeah, so I just find it funny. So anyhow, so this will be biting the town of Warren back in the ass, And I really encourage residents, see, it's the problem, that's the biggest problem. You go to a selectmen's meeting, and in order to be put on the agenda, you have to discuss something. You then go to a meeting, you start to discuss something, and you're shut down. They don't want you talking about it. So that's part of the reason why I do YouTube videos. And this is evidence, because it's a certified transcript, and I have the audio recording that both of us were put under oath. So if he lied under oath, then he should be prosecuted and sent to jail or fined, whatever the case is. But you don't see the town of Warren rushing to do that. I've sent emails to the selectman, and part of the thing is he was also a selectman for 3 years. So how can I lodge a complaint against Gagner for lying and falsifying police records and court records to come after me in retaliation with Bruce, the now former chief, for that? So anyhow, yeah. So this video helps disclose that information. It proves that they have to lie, cheat, and steal, which has to do with this Warren Patrolmen's Association thing. They have to have a social media page to lie to the public, because if they told the truth, then they know they're in trouble. So it's unfortunate that I feel like I'm fighting with them, or when they do something bad, they just change. They want to deceive the public by saying, "Look, here's the good stuff we're doing," and then people say, "Well, gee, the cops or certain police officers can't be doing wrong things that I see in Baril's video." Kind of like Keith Nicholas would say. He would say, I have those postings actually from his Facebook page, or from Gagner's Facebook page, where he says, "Don't watch Baril's videos, they're not true." The videos that I film meetings are meetings filmed from beginning to end. The videos are not edited, and people that go there and watch me, when the meeting starts, I push the record button. When the meeting's over, I push the stop record button. And then there's a video file. The whole video is then uploaded to YouTube. The only ones that are personal opinions are videos like this. But that's why I always have a piece of evidence available to speak about, that I'm just not here explaining a story. But anyhow. So yeah. So there's a big problem with this case. Because in criminal collusion was Bruce, the town, I don't know if the other selectmen were involved or not, but that's something for evidence to come out. But yes, so this whole thing was fabricated by James Gagner while he was a selectman. So in other words, he misused, maybe not money from the town, but he misused the resources, because he and the chief were there, because in the court record, in the docket, this is not the docket file, by the way, I have the docket file that proves, and a statement that proves the chief was there, and the chief could not do the harassment prevention order because Gagner had to be the one listed on it. So in other words, Bruce tried to use the police department to take it out on me, which is true, because the harassment prevention order has to be individual to individual. It can't be from a department, it can't be from a town. So that is why Gagner put his name on it. Unfortunately, it makes Gagner liable personally and professionally, and it also makes the town selectmen liable as well. So yes, so this is being submitted, or this is evidence against the town of additional wrongdoing. So that's why we have these videos, because there's not 1, 2, or 3 incidents against me. We're talking hundreds, if not thousands, of separate incidents that is never discussed at a selectmen's meeting, never told to the public. All right, so let me move on. I don't want to make this too long. Next one, I'll spend about 2 minutes in this, if that. This is the next transcript, and I also have the audio recording as well, the audio CD. This is bad, just like the other one. This is the Warren Police Department plaintiff versus me, Michael Baril, defendant. This is at East Brookfield Court, just like that other one. And what this is about, this is from October 19, 2017. So this is the court evidence of the false and malicious setup of the fake traffic citation, speeding traffic citation that was issued to me, I think in 2015 or 2016, quite a while ago. But anyhow, it took almost a year to go to court, and then this is when we went to court, October 19, 2017 again. So what's bad about this is Police officer Alexander Sinni, Sinni, had written the traffic citation to me, and said that the speed limit was 40 when in fact it was. I'm sorry, it said it was 30 or 35 when it was in fact 40, and I was actually going 38. So in this transcript, I'm under oath, and Officer Romani, who's the police officer that showed up. So why am I discussing this now? The town made a mistake. The mistake was they sent Officer Romani to show up. That was the mistake. And the reason why I say that it's not in a threatening manner, it's just the facts. The reason why I say that is because Officer Romani is in this audio recording as being put under oath that I was. I had a lawyer for this as well, which cost me money that you did not pay for, that I paid for. So again, this is now the, who knows what, I lost count, how many times I've been tried to be framed for something. But anyhow, so what is bad about this is after dash cam video, body cam video, and additional evidence, and the police department ordering the speed limit 40 sign that I was stopped in front of to be yanked out of the ground, and that came out of my testimony, so a lot of you don't know that. So I was stopped for speeding, and then by the time we stopped, we were in front of a speed limit 40 sign, which actually prior to that is even speed limit 40. He said the speed limit was either 30 or 35, and I was going faster than 40. Proceeded to write me a ticket with a fee. I already knew I wasn't speeding because the speed limit's 40. I already know that, and I'm going 38. And the body cam actually captured me driving doing 38. Maybe it went over to 41 and I slowed down or whatever. But I already knew it was a setup because I had the scanner in the car and I was listening to the police the whole time while the body cam and the dash cam were actually recording the scanner audio. So I already knew it was a setup before I even got to Southbridge Road. But anyhow, Southbridge at Bragg Road. Bragg Road. But anyhow, so what ended up happening is they knew I was going to, the Warren Police, meaning the chief, knew I was going to dispute the speeding ticket. So after I appealed the speeding ticket, the registry notified Warren Police, and then the chief, Bruce, ordered somebody to go steal the speed limit sign. So a lot of you don't know that. So that is in this testimony that Warren Police not only framed me and set me up for a fake traffic citation of a speeding ticket that wasn't even true to begin with, and there was no speeding, and nobody knew until this testimony came out a year later that I was video and audio recording the scanner that captured the audio of saying, "Here he comes up Southbridge Road." Now, this video is specific only to Officer Sinni, because he's the one that wrote the ticket. If he knew that you're writing a fake traffic citation where no crime had been committed, no motor vehicle infraction had been committed, then you wouldn't write the ticket. But he signed it, he did it, he's responsible. And I have the public records between me and the Warren Selectmen that Officer Sinni should be criminally charged and arrested for falsifying the traffic citation. Now, this has not been turned over to the town or its town council, and we're seeing where that goes. That's still in limbo right now. But anyhow, yes. So how it is bad is Officer Romani actually testified against Officer Sinni, admitting in the recording and in the transcript that the speed limit was 40. And then when asked, why would Officer Sinni write a fake or fabricate a traffic citation, he says, I don't know, you have to ask him. And then, so he is under oath and told the truth and said, yes, speed limit is 40, and said, yes, the responsibility is on Officer Sinni. Now, do the Warren cops know that? I doubt it, because I don't think that Officer Romani went back to the police station and said, well, Officer Sinni, I testified the speed limit's 40 and that you falsified police records and hope you don't go to jail, type of thing. So I'm sure that nobody within the police department has ever told Sinni that that Romani testified against him. So the whole thing was dismissed, and there will be obviously financial compensation that was previously discussed with the Warren Selectmen to compensate me for the attorney charges and civil restitution, whatever the selectmen decide to do. But we'll see how that goes. And it's still in limbo and still in discussion phase. So there's your answer to social media deceiving the public, and also also describing some past incidents. As I said, I could do hundreds of videos on every single thing that was harassed against me in a particular day. I don't have time. I just don't have time to do that. But anyhow, so I'll cut this video short. As you can see, there is going to be information on another video about Rutland Regional Dispatch. I will determine whether I will basically show the records of the data entry part of that. That is also being used in, I don't know if it's being used in court tomorrow morning, or maybe that'll be sometime if this ever goes to a trial or whatever, but at some point, right. And so, yeah, that is pretty much the answer to what's going on with me. So we'll see what happens in court tomorrow. I'm not too nervous, as I said. Everything should be fine, because we're just using... So as you can see, I mean, as I said, so in other words, this video is to help prove that everything I say, no matter who you are watching, is truthful and correct. And then at the same time, you're also learning a lot. And I have a lot of feedback when I go to the Warren Post Office or around town, meeting other people, or even attending a town meeting or whatever. Like I do, I always film those and film selectmen's meeting and stuff, and go to other meetings. It's exactly what people relay to me. Is I've watched your video. It's very helpful. It's very informative, and as you can see, they think it's funny to do something like this, to say, "Hey, the police are doing a great thing," but there's always a side of. I'm on the other side of the coin. Warren Patrolmen's Association, meaning the ringleader, Officer LaFlower, thinks it's funny to do stuff like this to show you their side of the coin, when on my reality I have the other side of the coin. In not only, so I'm using records that the town gives me to prove that my story is correct and the Warren employee story or Warren police officer's story is incorrect. So anyhow, so yes, and maybe I didn't answer, maybe I did, yes. So on James Gagner's Town of Warren page, which is pretty deceiving because it's not a Town of Warren official page, it's just that's originally Elect James Gagner's election page from 2015 when he became selectman. Then he changed the name of the page. That's all. It's the same page that was created in 2015. When I ran for selectman in 2015, I had no social media, no election email, no Facebook page, no nothing. It was just, you want to donate money, you give it to me. And I really didn't even collect hardly any money at all, maybe nothing, actually. But James Gagner had all these different incentives. So anyhow, yeah, so as you can see, when you read the Warren Patrolmen's Association page or James Gagner's Town of Warren page, I know for a fact who's on those pages, because you can see this post by Sean Moore, and you can see this stuff by Officer Keith Nicholas, etc. The cops are on there. So of course, so in other words, it's a connection of people together that basically have to watch what they say. That is why I don't need a Facebook page for this. I don't need this. I don't need that. I just need a YouTube video. Because you can see from their page that when somebody says this, oh, Mike Baril's bad, they all chime in, but that's where the problem lies, is they're chiming in as they are town employees. So whether they're chiming in on official duty while being paid by the town or off on their personal cell phone, but they're still participating in town engagement. So anyhow, and you would think that why would police officers post certain things that the public can see? Anyhow, anyhow, that's for the court to decide. That's what, so I guess at the end of this video right now, I encourage you to go to Warren Board of Selectmen's meetings. You now know some stories that you could ask. The answer is probably going to be, we don't want to discuss that. That was something from a long time ago. James Gagner is certainly not going to want to discuss any of the evidence that he lied and perjured himself under oath, trying to frame me from November of 2015. We now know Officer Sinney was responsible for fabricating the police records, which is actually committing a felony, which is exactly what's been on my website. So the answer to your question, if you are thinking about it, is right. There's been no public discussion about it because the selectmen know it's going to be a litigation matter, and there's some discussion about how much is this all worth and whatever. So we'll see currently what the 2019 chairman of Board of Selectmen and want to do, because Mark Richard is actually a criminal suspect connected to the chief, to the Social Security number breach. So in other words, the three selectmen cannot act as three selectmen because one is actually a suspect, and then one did not exist then, so there only leaves one left. So there's discussion about what is going to happen with that, and it will be coming out. So anyhow, and we'll see what happens in court tomorrow. So I guess I'll end the video. Thanks very much for watching, and as always, Warren, Massachusetts, it's where my story begins. And as soon as I saw this sweatshirt, I says, I got to buy this because it makes perfect sense, because the stories always stem from Warren. There's always an issue about people in Warren versus Mike Baril. But at the same time, I do hear that I do have a lot of support of certain individuals, residents, voters, whatever, in Warren that do support me, and and wondering what's going to happen. So the answer is I'm not going anywhere. No, I'm not going to jail. So I find that funny that Sue Libby would actually even want to post that, because now that's going to be submitted to the court, showing that she's one of the criminal collusion suspects to the whole thing. And she's also a criminal suspect, actually, in the assault that happened in the, if I can remember, I think it was September 2017, Warren Police shooting range, the Fejul gravel pit. So, because she actually lied in the police records from that day. So Sue Libby has a bunch of problems right now. So anyhow, so just wanted to be honest and say that to the public, because that is true, and she is in the police records falsifying statements to the police. I've had those records, God, probably 2 years now, but there was no discussion of it because there was discussion about litigation and whatever. So anyhow, so I'll end that. So thanks again for watching, and enjoy your day. Thanks.